Actually, this was a pretty interesting article. This was something I saw in the New York Post. God love the New York Post. A woman was shamed for distracting breasts at dinner. Prejudice against big naturals. A restaurant goer had some nasty comments to get off her chest. Adrienne Airhart was celebrating her birthday when a woman at the table next to her started shaming her for her breast size in this now viral tweet. The LA-based podcaster said she was told her chest was distracting before the woman got up and moved tables.
What year was this?
This happened this month. This happened a couple days ago. This happened today. This happened today. Holy hell. This is a viral tweet from today. Tonight at my birthday dinner, I took off my shawl and a lady at the next table said, well, those are distracting, and moved tables. Still got it, Earhart tweeted. She clarified that the incident was prejudice against big naturals. So here she is on, it's your birthday. You're allowed to have your boobs out on your birthday.
I think you're allowed to have your boobs out anytime you fucking want. Like,
of course, but especially on your birthday. Yeah.
We already go through this whole fucking generalization that guys can have their shirts off, but we cannot. Why is it that women don't get turned on by seeing a guy's chest? But for guys, they can't control themselves if they see our chest. It's the same. Like, they still, it's pectorials. Even though we have breast tissue, they still have nipples. Their nipples are just as sensitive as ours. I can't tell you how many male talents I worked with that will ask me to lick their nipple because it turns them on so much. So I'm like,
oh yeah. I had an ex that was like obsessed. It was too much. He was more into his nipples than I was into mine. I was like, all right, buddy. It was like, it was becoming a job.
But if a girl sat down next to me with her tits out, I would literally be like,
I'd be so happy.
I would love it. I would be like, thank you for sitting right there.
Yes. And this was a woman. This was a woman who called her out on her freaking birthday.
I'd be like, it must be my birthday because you're sitting next to me.
Yeah. That's what we call a cool chick. Earhart, who's in her 30s, shared a video of her blowing out her birthday candle and wrote, "This was me last night. I'm not even that hot." The lady was just a hater. I mean, I think she is hot. The tweet amassed over 34,000 likes and inspired other women to share similar experiences. Aw, and it's like she's doing her thing. It's not like she.
I personally don't think her titties that out.
No, I think this is the correct amount for a birthday.
Yeah,
it's her birthday, and it's not like, I don't know, it's not like she's hanging them in her, this woman's face or something. Like,
I feel like there's like, it's just some cleavage. I've seen way worse.
Yeah, it's crazy. And then she got a lot of support in the tweets. As a fellow big natural, I felt this in my core, dreaming of the day I get a reduction and can be normal. I mean,
don't do it.
I know the guys were all like, don't do it, don't get a reduction. I'll never forget.
The only way I would support a reduction, because first thing, the scarring is some serious thing, but also if you're having major back problems, and it's hurting your health, totally, I completely understand. But if you're doing it because you want to feel normal, there is no such thing as normal. You are beautiful the way you are, and what makes people beautiful is the imperfections that are with them. So I think having big, beautiful, natural titties is amazing. And there's tons of girls out there that wish they had that problem.
Yeah, absolutely. She went on another user said, "I'll never forget when I was on work experience at 15 years old and the lady I was working for wrote in my evaluation that I dressed inappropriately. I didn't. I was wearing exactly what they had told me to wear. I simply just had breasts." Yeah, and that's always a double standard. Like, you could be wearing the same thing, but you like look sexier if you have bigger boobs, and therefore you have cleavage and whatnot. I mean, you know the deal. All chicks know the deal. I had a red fitted tank top on under a red jacket, not zipped up. It was a uniform appropriate when I worked at a major retail store at 18, 19 years old. I was called into HR and a woman complained about my distasteful cleavage. Yeah, probably a jealous hater. They forced me to wear and buy XXL branded polo. Damn.
Can they do that?
At work, man, I mean, I wonder if when it comes to like uniforms, like you should be, I guess it depends on the company.
I think my thing is why are you looking?
I know, right? It's like form fitting is totally fine. If it's too tight and the buttons can't button so much and you have to have it just like mega cleavage because it's so tight, I guess that's one thing depending on your job.
I I
Who
just think
cares?
like I don't know. That's if someone would say that to me, I'd be like, I probably would quit. And I've never quit. Well, no, I've quit one job. I quit one job to do porn.
Good for you. Yeah, you're like, "Oh, really? You're gonna complain about my tits? Goodbye." In college, I was in a bar going to the bathroom, and this guy said with a very serious face, "You need to watch where you're going with those things." Saw him in the cafeteria a couple weeks later. No risk of him recognizing me because he never looked at my face. Oh, others were not so understanding in response. Maybe you should have worn a different dress, one person said. I'll take things that never happened for 500, another said. School everywhere. I told you so. A user chimed in. Earhart isn't
I
alone in feeling
I
shame over her chest in a public space.
I feel this is very like borderline of, women should watch what they wear type feel. Like, oh, because she wore that. It's almost back like we're going back into like the 50s, 60s, and 80s, like, oh, because you wore that, you shouldn't have wore that if you didn't want that type of response.
Yeah,
I
I'm gonna
feel like
follow
that's
her. Yeah.
going back going back into our generation right now, like seriously, like especially in school and with like if I'm assuming by now, like if they're in college they're considered Gen Z, and Gen Z is supposed to be very more liberal and open-minded and stuff like that. So for to I don't know, if I think I've only had a couple people ever tell me that what I wore was inappropriate, and the one that stood out the most was when my stepfather went to the priest and said, "Why are you looking?"
Oh my god. Thanks, stepdad. I mean,
Yep.
I do understand like how men are, like you can't expect them. Some men, yes, they can control themselves, they are professional, they don't say like there could be a girl or woman like obviously your tits are out, it's too much for like whatever the situation is. Some guys can control, but some guys can't control themselves. Like it's just that's the deal, they're gonna make comments, they're gonna, in a perfect world, yes, like a guy wouldn't look, but guys look, it's human nature, girls look.
You can look. You can look,
Yeah,
just, don't touch without consent.
totes.
We're not
Totally.
saying that you can't look. Most of the time we want you to look. Like, right? Why would if I'm showing off my curves, I want you to look.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I think too. I think there's like very few times where you wear something sexy and you're like, oh, I had no idea. It's like, no, if someone looks hot, it's like, it's probably because it was intentional.